I was going to call this the loudest voice of the week. It won't be. It's not the loudest voice of the week because I'm not that impressed with Joe Rogan on this. I thought Joe Rogan had Bono on, and I thought he could get him a little bit better than he did. I don't think he did a good job. Alex Jones thinks he did a good job. I don't know. Not impressed. Joe Rogan will not be getting loudest voice of the week this week. It's going to go to someone else on Thursday. However, let's look at what actually happened and see if anything came out of this at all. Bono, who we know, CIA plant, 100% plant, pro-Ukraine, anti-Putin. He's been pro-Israel. Now he's got to have to take kind of a middle ground on it. We'll see about that, where he stands now, where the wind's blowing. But he certainly goes on Rogan to do, I don't know, some sort of damage control with his narrative, kind of try and demonstrate that he's a little bit understanding and empathetic for Palestinians. But he's been a war pusher his whole career. Make no mistake. Also, he likes to steal money from donations. That's another thing. We'll get into all that. But let's first look at Bono going on Joe Rogan. This is the clip everyone's sharing. Some say Rogan called his ass out on the U.S. aid stuff. I don't think he did that great of a job. You guys decide for yourself. Did Rogan do a good job here on pushing back on Bono? Here we go.
Recent report. It's not proven, but the surveillance enough suggests 300,000 people have already died from just this cut off, this hard cut of USAID. So there's food rotting in boats, in warehouses. There is this will fuck you off. You will not be happy. No American will. But there is, I think it's 50,000 tons of food that are stored in Djibouti, South Africa, Dubai, and wait for it, Houston, Texas. And that is rotting rather than going to Gaza, rather than going to Sudan, because the people who know the codes or for the warehouse are fired. They're gone. And so this, I don't know, what do you think? What is that? That's not America, is it?
Well, they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Right. This is the problem. The problem is, for sure, there have been a lot of organizations that do tremendous good all throughout the world. Also, for sure, it was a money laundering operation. For sure, there was no oversight. For sure, billions of dollars are missing. In fact, trillions that are unaccounted for, that were sent off into various, they don't even know where because there's no receipts. The way Elon Musk described it, he said if any of this was done by a public company, the company would be delisted and the executives would be in prison. But in the United States, this is standard. When Biden left office, when it was clear that Trump won, in the 73 days, they spent $93 billion from the Department of Energy on just radical loans, just throwing money into places.
Right.
And there's no oversight, no receipts. Like the whole thing is, there's a lot of fraud, a lot of money laundering.
So, look, I understand that people got excited that Rogan said, dude, that's not there's a massive amount of money laundering in USA. What are you talking about? Now Bono knows this. It's not like he's like, wait, what? What do you mean? He knows it 100%. He's just trying to propagate this idea that the people getting fired is the biggest problem. And look at all those boo-hoo, all these government people got fired and now they got to go home and they don't have their jobs. That's his big take. And Rogan's all, no, dude, this thing is a massive upward transfer of wealth, a money laundering scheme. Bono doesn't push back. That's it. But Rogan should certainly have gone further than that. Alex Jones tweets this out. Says breaking is a video of Rogan. And so I saw this and I thought, oh, this is going to be good. Rogan and Musk publicly destroy Bono after he was caught stealing 99% of the funds raised for starving Africans. He just attempted to deceive Joe Rogan's audience into believing USAID's cuts, spearheaded by Elon Musk's Doge, have caused these 300,000 deaths, while admitting that he had no evidence. So we saw that part. He just said it was a report. I don't know how to cite it. but somebody said somewhere that it was 300,000 people dying. And Rogan's like, well, that's not, that's kind of inaccurate, but he didn't, Alex Jones is wrong about Rogan holding Bono accountable. He didn't hold him accountable for anything. Rogan must have called him out to be a fraud and a liar. I didn't see that in the clip. Did I miss something? Tell me if I missed something. Did I miss Alex Jones? Did I miss Rogan calling Bono a liar? Because I didn't see that. I saw two guys going, well, they might have been smoking weed there. Oh, yeah, man. Far out, man. Yeah, it's more wild than you think, dude. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, I thought it was just the 300,000 died when we cut it. No, man. What about all the other horrible shit? Yeah. Oh, you think? Oh, right on, dude. So no, I don't know where Alex Jones is getting that from, calling him a liar. We know he's a liar. We know perfectly well he's a liar, and Joe Rogan does too. He just was a little overly nice there. Let's not forget Bono's CIA. Again, he's a CIA plant. We know this. Here's him doing a charity concert for Ukraine, and listen to the end what he says he wants to have happen to Putin, that he is actually calling for the people of Russia to take him down. That's what he wants.
The U2 singer performed alongside his bandmate The Edge in an underground tube station in the capital. They were joined by a Ukrainian soldier during the gig. Well, afterwards, he spoke to Sky's Mark Austin.
I just wonder what you make of what you see here.
I mean, we just, it's the usual thing. You get out of a motorcade. You can't ever really have a sense of what these people have been through. No real sense. Though it's stark, the evidence around you, the shock of the mayor's daughter, Jolina, this incredible... Jolina, come in here. Yeah. Just this incredible woman here. She was telling us the story and just being... witnessing. Bearing witness. Yeah. So I suppose that's what we're here to do. Essentially, we were invited to come by President Zelensky.
What do you think of the people who did this, just finally?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard. I think it's one man's war, really. And I think there's people in Russia will younger people know what's going on. And I trust in the younger people in Russia to throw this man out of his office that was so high and is so low right now. That's me trying to be understated.
He's good. He's good at pretending to be about humanitarian aid and doing the right thing. But make no mistake, Bono toured all over the country during the beginning of the Ukraine war. And then when October 7th happened, he's continuing his tours around. They had this whole show in Vegas. I don't know if you guys remember that big ball they built. U2's performing. Everything was about pushing military-industrial complex, pushing for Ukraine. We got to keep sending money to Ukraine. We're killing that. You guys know we got 50,000 every week are dying from our funding that. So we're killing Ukrainians. He knows that, and he wants the people in Russia to overthrow him. Then come October 7th, he's adding into his tours, all of his shows, his Vegas show, talking about Israel has the right to defend itself, got to stop Hamas. We want those hostages back. He's doing every single talking point of the establishment. I think we had a little thing here. Okay. I think we're okay. So to add to that, well, let's see this tweet here. This one I wanted to show. This from Johnny St. Pete. He's an asset. Bono's an asset of propaganda. Remember when he called for regime change in Russia? That's what we just showed you. Now they can't say now that they can't create a Joe Rogan, it figures they're sending their assets to his show. So that's what it seems like they were doing, so he could do some PR. And then to remind you guys, the rest of the celebrities like Ben Stiller, who was paid to visit Zelensky, Sean Penn, we know all that these are all assets for the military-industrial complex, all of them. Ben Stiller, Sean Penn, who were paid through USAID. USAID paid them to go. Sean Penn giving his Oscar to Zelensky. They are tools of the machine, are part of the hearts and minds operation routinely conducted by intelligence. Exactly right, Johnny St. Pete. 300K death. Who makes up these fictional numbers? USAID? Yeah, USAID makes up those numbers. That's correct. Bono. Hey, Bono, you think I forgot about how your one foundation was spending most of its money on swag bags to promote your charity? Bono slammed USAID, but his one campaigns is shady. This is where Joe Rogan missed it. He did not call him on this, and I'm glad this guy does, because it's important to call this out. So that's why Joe Rogan doesn't get loudest voice of the week. I should give it to this dude. In 2008, the one organization, which is a shady ass organization pretending to be charity, it raised $15 million, and he just gave 1.2% of that. That's it, 1.2% to charity, and he spent $8 million on salaries. Why wouldn't Joe Rogan bring that one up? He's got access to this information. We're not the only ones. There was a 2018 bullying scandal in South Africa, exposed a toxic culture. So all of this, there's a paper trail on all this. Here's a Guardian article. This is from 7 years ago. Bono's One Foundation under fire for giving tiny percentage of funds to charity. Okay, so Joe Rogan, look, you got the biggest platform on the planet. That's my bad. You got the biggest platform on the planet. You bring one of the biggest superstars on your show, and your pushback is so mild. It's so mild that we're supposed to go, yay! You called them out on that 300,000 dead, but you didn't say much of anything else. You didn't say that you are a CIA mouthpiece, that your entire U2 touring and promoting military occupation, promoting war with Putin, promoting funneling money into the military-industrial complex over and over and over. You didn't talk about any of that. So I don't see that this was a big win. I don't know why Alex Jones is giving this guy way too much credit. But no, Joe Rogan, you do not get loudest voice of the week.